Okay, good morning. Now, see the text coming to the fundamental rights. Coming to the fundamental rights, the fundamental rights are enshrined in part 3 that is mentioned already. So, this is related to part 3 and from article 12 to 35 it is there. So, that already you know that, and it is from Bill of Rights. So, this is from 1791 Bill of Rights. So, it was 10th Amendment Act, Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, and later, wait, and I should take the other one. Give me some time. So I'm looking for fundamental rights to make it very easier. It was mentioned. Yeah, got it. Okay. So, are you able to view this? Are you able to view this? Can you able to read? Is it readable? Not clear. Sadiq is okay. Now, are you able to read? Now, are you able to read? Yes, good. So, when coming to the fundamental right, so it is from 12th article to 35 and it is in part 3 and it is from Bill of Rights, right? So again the Constitution and part 3, it is the major point, the key point in the globe, around the globe, on the planet, the first initiated by Magna Carta. it was initiated from Magna Carta. And even so it is in 1215 King John Edward, and that will be take no way. Okay, right. Okay, right. In fact, the fundamental rights in our constitution are more elaborate than those found in the constitution of the USA. So the Bill of Rights, it was, see, when we consider the Indian constitution, the fundamental rights are more elaborated and more explained in detail. The clauses are there, and each and every one is referring to something, because the people who wrote our constitution is the lawyers, and well experienced lawyers and psychologists. So that is the reason, and it was written very elaborately. Okay, so the greatest, the biggest constitution of the world is nothing but written constitution is nothing but our Indian constitution, right? So the other point what I need to make you is, yeah, this one, this is already known to you. The right to equality 14 to 18, and the right to freedom, it's 19 to 22, and right to against exploitation 23 and 24, and right to the freedom of religion, it's 25, 26, 27, 28, and cultural and educational rights from 29 and 30, and right to property 31, but it was already shifted from 44th Amendment Act to the 12th part 300A, 300, yeah, 12th part. So right to constitutional remedies, and it's 32, so you can make it here. See, it's added into 300A part 12 1978 in the Amendment Act, 44th Amendment Act. So at present we have only 6 fundamental rights. Yes or no? So if you, till now, this is just, I am briefing it and make it. The Constitution, Magna Carta of India. See, the third part constitution described as the same material I have just make you available in the Indian polity study material, right? So the written as well as the this one not yet updated, I will upload later, and this written is already updated to you. Okay, third also called, this is also called the cornerstone of the Constitution. The third part is also called as cornerstone of the Constitution, and this is also called as Magna Carta of Indian Constitution. The fourth part, DPSP, is the directives principles, that is called as the conscience of the Constitution. The conscience of the Constitution. The aim to establish is a government of laws, not of men. So this is very, very, very important. Government of laws, not of men. So this is what very, very, very important. Government of laws. So everything should be around laws, not the person priority, but law priority. Law is the highest priority, but not the man. Is that clear? So if you are clear till now, CLR in the comment box. CLR in the comment box. Yeah, very good. And what is the cornerstone of the Constitution? Raise your hands. I will just allow everybody. Raise your hand. Yes, yes. So Mahbub Basha. Yeah. So short questions. Mahbub Basha. Part 3. Part 3 consists of what? Part 3 consists of what?
Magna Carta.
So part 3 is also known as Magna Carta of India. Part 3 consists of what?
Human rights.
It's just human rights or fundamental rights?
Fundamental rights. Sir.
Fundamental rights. Yeah, from which article to which article?
12 to 35.
12 to 35. So how many fundamental rights are there?
Earlier 7 and present 6.
At present 6. Okay. So the which one is shifted from where to where?
31 is shifted to 300A based on 44th Amendment in 1978.
Excellent. Super. Awesome. And which part it went? 300A is which part?
12th part, sir.
12th part. Excellent. And just rise another. Rise. Somebody please rise. Sadiq, Madhavi and Reshma. So you should raise your hands now, not earlier. Okay. No, you cannot do like that. Okay, so maybe you are unable to rise. We will check it later. See, so a government of laws, not of men. The third part, fundamental rights, is also called as the cornerstone of the Constitution. This is very, very, very important. And Magna Carta of India, Magna Carta of Indian Constitution is nothing but the fundamental rights. That is part 3. And part 4 is DPSP. It's the constitute, the conscience of the Constitution. Conscience of the Constitution. Okay. Right. The aim to establish is only the government of law, not the laws of, not the men. Okay. They are the fundamental because they are guaranteed to protect by the Constitution, which is a fundamental law of land. Okay. See, law of land in the sense, it is as we are in India, it is the Constitution, the rules of our India. So in to follow the rules, what we will do, we will list out few rules and we will note down. So that book is called a Constitution of India. And if you are living in Australia and you are following the rules of the Australia and you are writing the same rules, then it is a rules book, that is Constitution of Australia, just like that. So that is rule of land, and they are the fundamental because they are guaranteed and protected. They are guaranteed and protected by the Constitution, which is the fundamental law of land. Okay, they are fundamental also in the sense that they are most essential for all round development of the individual. So to grow in a deliberately and to grow as a dignity in society, live in a society, what you require is the fundamental right. Then only these are all the basic needs to protect everything. Okay, right. Moving to the next. Okay. Article 12. As you know already, Article 12 states only the definition. So definition of what? Type your comment. Definition of what? Yes, state. So state definition. State consists of what? State consists of what? State consists of what? State consists of what? State consists of the government, that is central government, and the Parliament of India, or the government, that is state government and legislature of a state. Okay, and all local and other authorities. Okay, so that is municipalities, corporations, all these are local authorities. And territory of India and under the constitution of government of India. So territory of India or under the government of constitution of India. Constitution of India in the sense constitutional bodies, and territory of India means non-constitutional bodies which are not constitution of India. That's it. That is the only difference, right? So moving to the next. The Article 13. Article 13. What Article 13 states? What Article 13 states? Article 13 states the law reviews, right? So when it will work, when it won't work, right? So it declares that all laws that are inconsistent with a derogation of any of the fundamental rights shall be void. Shall be void. If it is derogating the fundamental right, then it is void. That is very clear, right? So Ambika of law. Okay. So the permanent law enacted by the parliament or the state legislature, temporary law, permanent law. Permanent law is by the parliament or by the state legislature. So if you compare even both, the parliament is the highest priority to make a law. Okay, and temporary law is like ordinance. So suppose at present corona, because of that you just suppose any bill or medical emergency, so anything you want to pass without any prior notice, without any discussions in the parliament, without any approvals in the parliament, the president has a right to sign it, and it can be as ordinance. So that will be implemented directly. That is what the ordinance. There is no time to respond. So it will just implemented. That will be implemented. Later it will be justified and valid and approved if it requires. Right. So order are bylaws, rules, regulations as a notifications, and non-legislative sources of laws, non-legislative sources and order, bylaws and rules. So these are what the rules, the laws. So one can be a permanent, that is how the law reviews can be done, but where the laws will be made. The laws might be a permanent, laws might be a temporary, laws might be reviewed, laws might be from local organizations, local authorities, then that will be called as a bylaws if it is few corporations. And so there are few organizations and they will follow not the constitution but their laws, but it depends under the Constitution of India, right? So non-legislative sources of law, so custom or its usage having the face of law. So see, moving to the next, right to equality. So right to equality is from the Article 14 to the 18. So Article 14 to 18. So what it states? Equality before law and equal protection of law. So equality before law is from British and equal protection of law from US, and it is from 1885 and it is from 1791. So 1791 and 1885, it is, the author is A.V. Dicey, and it is from, I think, something like Morocco or Monaco. Morrison, yeah, Morrison. And the state shall not deny to any person equality before law and equal protection of law. The state shall not deny to any person. Okay, and now The person includes the citizens or foreigners as well as legal persons. So it is for the people who are living in India, and it is for the people who are citizens of India, there are few fundamental rights even it implement even to the foreigners who are living in India or connected to India under the Constitution of India, and even as a legal persons, right? So moving ahead, there are two types. One is equality before law and equal protection of law. It is from British origin and it is from US origin, and it's a negative concept and it's a positive concept, and it prohibits special treatment and prohibition, and it allows special treatment for to make them equal, right? So it is one of the aspects of rule of law, ab dicey, and it means the equal treatment for under equal circumstance. So like and alike are alike should be treated. So it permits reasonable classification. This is very, very important. Reasonable classification, persons, objects and transactions by the law, right? So till now, if you are clear, then type CLR in the comment box. Type CLR in the comment box. Yes, good Reshma, good Madhavi, good Mahbub Basha. Moving ahead, what exactly a rule of law? What exactly a rule of law? See, no man can be punished. No man can be punished except for breach of law. So if he is violating law, then only he will be punished. Just as a man, as he is belongs to that race, and as he is not that much, he is poor, he is not that much having money, so he will be punished. No, there is no other concepts except if he breaches law, if he violate any law, then only if he commit any committing crime in the sense he is breaching law, committing crime in the sense he is violating the law, so then only he will be punished. And everyone is equal before law. Everyone is equal before law, and the constitution is of rights individuals rather than the constitution being the source of individual rights. So this is what we have not taken. So first and second elements are applicable to the Indian system. So that's what we have even discussed while in our previous classes. The SC, the Supreme Court held rule of law is the basic feature and cannot be amended. So that is the basic feature and cannot be amended. And there are few exceptions. What are the exceptions? Exceptions are you cannot challenge the president or governors under the article 361. So you cannot challenge. And foreign diplomats and UNO and ambassadors, so you cannot challenge them. And if article 31, it provides the laws mode of state for implementing DPSP, so that means it is allowing the people to make them equal. It provides a few provisions. So that is, if that is there, class B and C, article 39. So it is under the article 39, cannot be challenged. It cannot be challenged by using our 13th article. It cannot be challenged, right? So moving to the next. So what is the article 15? Article 15 consists how many grounds? Discriminations on basis of how many grounds? Yeah, 5 grounds. So those 5 grounds are religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. So all these 5 are subjected to any disability, liability or restriction as constitution with regard to the access, shops, public restaurants, hotels, place of public entertainment, that is theaters, okay, the use of well, tanks, bathing ghats, and earlier it used to, at present you can consider it as a swimming pools where you will bath even, right? So roads and place of public resort maintained by, so this is partly by the state even fund, so under the state government, that is state in the sense, state refers to the Article 12, so you should not forget it, right? And what are the few exceptions? If there is a special case involved, for the SCs and STs, other weaker sections allowed, so that is allowed, so you can make them equal, right? Okay, the special favor can be given to the women children. One second. వేణు నేను లైవ్ క్లాస్లో ఉన్నా నేను క్లాస్ తర్వాత ఫోన్ చేస్తా. ఓకే రైట్, స్పెషల్ ఫేవర్ కెన్ బి గివెన్ టు ద ఉమెన్ అండ్ చిల్డ్రన్ బికాస్ దే ఆర్ ఆల్రెడీ listed as not equal, as we should consider equal should be equal and unequal should be unequal, like should be equal and alike should be unequal. Is that clear? Yeah. So moving to the next article, Article 16. What exactly Article 16 states? So in a process of recruitment process, okay, in recruitment process what we are doing, no citizen can be discriminated against the ineligibility for any employment or office under the state on the grounds of only those 5 grounds what we earlier discussed. So and added with the decent and residents. So decent and residents. So at present there are in the recruitment process Article 16 on grounds of 7, right? So there are few exceptions even. There are few exceptions. What are all those exceptions? So exceptions, the parliament can prescribe residence as the condition on the certain employment in a state and UT or local authorities. Very simple. Suppose you belongs to the Andhra Pradesh and APPSC board recruitment is going on, then you are allowed to be here only. Okay, and the Andhra Pradesh and Telangana is the very special status. Special status is not the special status what you are thinking. Special status in the sense in a recruitment process only. So here because of the regional changes and there should be the what we call discrimination should not be allowed here, and for that, for the sake of the development, and the zones are subdivided, and the state is divided into zones, and each zone is one is recruited from the zone. The one who is recruited from the zone, he is local to that particular zone and he is non-local to the other zones. So like that it was distributed and distinguished in the year 1970s and 71, right? So it was happened earlier. There is no other state like that because they are purely only one state, but our state is different. We just collected a few pieces from other states and we just made Andhra Pradesh. So earlier it was Andhra state and later it's an Andhra Pradesh. So just by joining Telangana, at present it is again splitted. That is quite different, but it was happened earlier, so that's why we are discussing about it. So everything, the right is to the state, so it will decide. And the special favor can be given to the SCs and STs, other weaker sections, and religion can be ground for the discrimination in special cases, and except appointment of imams in madrasas. Just like that, in TTD, suppose you are going to recruit somebody to the TTD, then there are few exceptions, right? So religiously, right? Article 17. What exactly Article 17 states? So abolition of untouchability. Abolition of untouchability, it's 17th, on 17th basis, wait. Now that is very specific to the article, but in the recruitment process, in the Article 17, Article 16, the two the Mandal Commission. So the Mandal Commission, so in 1979, the Morarji Desai government appointed the second backward classes commission, and it's in the terms of 340 class 1 and the socially, and there are how many? 3,743 socially weaker classes, and 52% in the population, 52% are from belongs to the backward classes, and scheduled STs and reservations for 27%. So it was. And in 1990, what happened? After 10 years, because it is less than 50% that is acceptable, in 1990 VP Singh government it was introduced, and again in 1991 Narasimha Rao just added two changes. So preference to the poor, OBC, and 27% quota he added, and 10% again added. But what happened? The famous Mandal case or Sahani case. So 1992, the Article 16 class 4 that was challenged there, because of 10%, that is because of 50% ceiling, it was stopped, right? So in 1997 it was happened, and we will enacted. This will be shared to you. This will be shared to you, don't worry. Okay. So abolition of untouchability. So Article 17, abolition of untouchability. So untouchability forbids its practice in any form. Following acts or offences. So what are the offensive? So one is preventing any person from entering any place of a public worship. So if you are not allowing a person to enter into a temple, or if you are not allowing a person into the mosque, or if you are not allowing a person into the Gurudwara, you can enter anywhere, no restrictions, right? So denying access to any shop or hotel. So if you are restricted even to entering into the public entertainment or public utilities or whatever it may be. So even in a bus stand and buses, so you are not allowed. So you are belongs to some other religion or some other place, so you are not allowed. If the discriminations is there, then that is also comes under the untouchability, right? So refusing to admit a persons in hospitals, educational institutions as the hostels established and public benefits. So there may be a doubt rises from your brain that, sir, there are few colleges who are just minority oriented colleges are there because the seats we should get admission there, and the reservation based on reservation, and the people the coming for the sake of admission. There are so many people who are coming for the admission, but there are less seats at that time. They are restricting, and you are telling ki refusing the admission. That is not completely, that is not absolute, because there is no seats that is not available. Then it is okay. And if it is curtailing the rights of minorities, then it's okay. That will be considered. That will be invalid, because their right is proper here rather than this. So equal should be equal, unequal should be unequal. So to make them equal, we are providing few provisions. So even for the women also we are providing few provisions. So who are weaker, then we are just make them stronger. That's it. So refusing and insulting a person belonging to SC and grounds of untouchability, and preaching untouchability directly or indirectly. So you should not even teach. You have no right to teach untouchability. You should follow untouchability, and untouchability, they are very you should not discriminate even that, right? So refusing to sell goods, vendor services, even that. Okay, what are the punishments? You will get a 6 months imprisonment up to 6 months, as fine 500 euros both, and this refers to you will get even 2 years jail, and to nearly 1 lakh or 50,000 rupees you will get a fine. Okay. Abolition of titles, Article 18. So provisions are as follows. The prohibits a state from confirming any title except a military or academic. So it is conferring any title except military or academic. So prohibits even a citizen of India. It is even prohibiting even of India to taking the foreigners titles, foreigners awards, any foreigner awards. So any foreign awards you are not allowed to take, right? So if you want to take, that should be permitted. That should be you should get a permission from the President of India. Okay. No foreigner working under the state can receive any title from any foreign state with consent of the President of India. So here without, right? So Bharat Ratna and Padma Vibhushan, Padma Shri, such awards do not amount to the titles, as Treaty of Equality does not mandate that merit should not be recognized. So this is again from 1977, the Morarji Desai, he stopped the Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan like that, and Indira Gandhi started again from 1980. So that is different issue. And right to freedom. Till now it was about right to equality, and right to equality we need to further. Yeah, it's about even. So in 2019, to 10% reservation for the EWS, it's about Article 16. Abolition of untouchability It's Article 17. Article 17, and it's about Article 18. Trust, foreigner holding, and any, yeah. So from 1996, the Supreme Court upheld the constitutional validity of the national awards Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan. So Article 18 has a theory of equality, does not mandate that the merit should not be recognized. This is the one what they have taken. They have taken and they are recognizing it again. Right. So yeah, this is also important. So in 1954 it was the awards started, and in 1977 the Janata Party Morarji Desai discontinued them, and 1980 Indira Gandhi again started. That's it. So moving to the next. Yes, moving to the next, right to freedom. So it's Article 19 to 22, right? So Article 19, what it is states, Article 19 guarantees all citizens the 6 fundamental rights. 6 fundamental rights. Are you able to view this? Are you able to view this? What are all the 19 consists of the 6, right? So only first letter please. Only first letter please. Type your comments. 19A class 1. 19A class 1 please. 19A class 1. It's about speech and expression. Speech, thought, expression. Yes. Right to assemble. So that is to assemble peacefully without arms, not with arms. And form associations and unions or cooperative societies. Right to move freely throughout the territory of India. Throughout the territory of India. Right to reside and settle any part of the territory of India. Right to practice any profession carrying on occupation, but see to that you should not do drugs business. You are not allowed to do the business of unethical, anything unethical and unconstitutional and unlawful activities are not allowed, right? And so 19th article 1 is this, yeah, dispose of the property was deleted from 44th Amendment Act 1978. So it was deleted. Yeah, this is from 19(1) to A to G. F is deleted. F is deleted. Okay. Right to acquire a property was abolished, now became a legal right. Only 6 rights. That is, yeah, that's what we already discussed. Speech and expression, peacefully without arms you can assemble, form associations or unions and cooperative societies. So this cooperative societies is added from 97th Amendment Act 2011, right? So moving ahead, right to movement freely, territory of India, anywhere you can roam freely, and right to reside and settle any part of the territory, and right to acquire right to acquire a property. So this is abolished. 44th Amendment Act 1978, and right to practice any profession, that is there. So till now, is this, if it is very clear and understood, type U in the comment box. Type U in the comment box. Very good, very good. So moving ahead, so I want to continue, but because of lack of time, I'll stop now. Okay, we'll continue from here onwards by tomorrow. Okay, so take 2 to 5 minutes break and we will continue the arithmetic class, right? Till now, then bye bye, see you.